Recorded live at the V3 TV studio in sunny England, it's the Vaughn Johseph Show.
All the ugly people be quiet.
What's up, guys? It's Vaughn Johseph here. It's time for the show. We got an echo. Engineer, fix that. Thank you. So, hey, this is it. 2016 is done in like, what, a week or something like that. So this is going to be the last show, and it's one of the first shows we've done for this year. It's been a very busy, hectic year, but 2017 is just going to be all new stuff. We got new hosts that's going to be sitting next to me and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, that's what's going on. So today we've got a very special guest. We've got Mr. AlfonZo Rachel is joining us again all the way from sunny California. Jealous. So we're going to have Zoe on hopefully more often. So what's been going on, man? 2016 is almost done. Christmas is literally right around the corner. So it's been busy, man. They did a lot this year. We had a presidential election in the United States. They had a split from the European Union election here in England. Wow. So President Obama's out. President-elect Donald Trump's in. Hillary Clinton is upset. And a whole lot of people are upset. We're going to talk about that when Zoe calls in to the show in a little bit. Wow, what else has happened? They were killing gorillas and alligators were eating little kids at Disney. Cuba is now able to deal with the U.S. President Obama was like the first president since 1928 or something like that, or 38 to go to Cuba. Fidel Castro died. Prince died. Wow, huge. Lots of deaths this year. Zsa Zsa Gabor just died, 99. She slapped a police officer. Wow. Now that's a woman. She was quoted as saying, what did she say? I'm a magnificent housekeeper. Every time I leave a man, I keep his house. Ouch. Where is that old Hollywood at, man? Those are the days. That's awesome. So lots of news going on, but I'm not going to really dwell on a lot of it. It's just been, like I said, it's been a great year. We got a quick little beautiful show for you tonight. I hope you enjoy it. So we're going to talk a little bit about this, a little bit about that, and then we're going to get you back on with your life. Sounds like it's thundering. Oh, it's an airplane flying overboard. You'd think I was at Heathrow or something. That was crazy. So, as you know me, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. I think that little lies are being told pretty much all the time by the government and various other entities. So, there's a movement, or trying to get this guy on the show. I've been trying to get him on this year, but it just never happened. For people claiming that the Earth is flat. They don't think the Earth is round. I think the Earth is flat. So I'm not going to get into that tonight. But NASA, if you know me, is always at my back door in my thoughts with this moon landing. And as you know, we lost an astronaut just recently as well. Was it Neil Armstrong? I'm really bad with that. Sorry. At any rate, I don't think we ever landed on the moon. We haven't gone back. There's a lot of questions around that situation. So NASA's just released something like 10,000 high-resolution photos to prove that the moon landing was real. I don't know how these photos are supposed to be proving anything other than that NASA has pictures that they got. It doesn't mean that that's, where the pictures came from or any of that stuff. So I don't know. We're going to do a bit more investigating into that one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. One interesting story that I did find was about Tesla. So if you're into Tesla and you drive a Tesla car, these hackers, they stole a Tesla car from the Tesla mobile app. So there's apparently an app that you can get with your phone if you have a Tesla, and I think it unlocks your doors, probably starts your car, things like that. You can see how much is charging the car, can close the roof on it, and flash the lights, honk the horn, that kind of cool stuff. So change the air conditioning, et cetera, et cetera. So these guys hacked into this into the Tesla, and it was able to be executed. Apparently, they convinced the owner that they needed to download a special app on their device, which they did. Once downloaded and installed, they then proceeded to create a free open Wi-Fi hotspot close to the charging station. And yeah, they got into this guy's car. It's on the internet. It's on YouTube, I think. And they used it, and they got into the guy's car, and they were actually able to drive the car away. So that's pretty convenient for thieves if you're a little tech-savvy thief. Now, you can steal cars right from the comfort of your living room. Just, you don't even have to leave. So apparently they've come up with a patch, Tesla, for this this app malfunction. So it's the flaw has been fixed, and yeah, I mean, wow, you could steal a car, using a mobile application. That's insanity. So hopefully, they'll ramp up the security on that, because you have all these cars now that are giving you these access points externally. So you have I just came back from the U.S. a few weeks ago for Thanksgiving, and we have this here as well in the UK, but it's a little different. But what they had, what I saw was, I think it's Verizon, the same Verizon that was stealing or storing people's text messages and sending them to the NSA. So yeah, trust these people to install something into your car that allows your car to be tracked, and they market it as, you can see where your kids are going and limit the radius that they drive in, and see when the car is parked and stopped and how fast they're driving and so on. And really, it's a tracking device. But I mean, how are we not being tracked everywhere anyway, right? Example, your phone, right? I was using Google Maps today, and then my battery was getting low. And I remembered when I was in Spain or somewhere like that, and I didn't have connection, but the Google Maps kept going. Even though my phone wasn't on, it was still pinging, and the GPS was still going. So you're being tracked. You're being tracked in your phone. So, and I'm wearing a fitness watch that tells me how far I've walked and how many flights I've done and my heart rate. So I'm being tracked. You're being tracked no matter what. And they sell it here in the UK under the guise of getting your insurance rate lower. So yeah, I want lower insurance. Put this in your car. If you're a safe driver, you get this safe driver bonus, and we're just going to follow you around. So, oh man, if you ever have North Star or any of that in your car, I disable that stuff as soon as I get the car. I tell them I don't want it or whatever. So, yeah, good stuff. So there's going to be here in London, robots that are going to be set to perform oral sex at London's first fellatio cafe. So where do we sign up for that? Psych! I'm not interested in that. What are you, nuts? What is this? So this Swiss guy named Bradley Charvet has, announced this outrageous plan to open this oral sex cafe, modeled on a similar business in Thailand, which would allow women or allow men to receive oral sex with their hot drinks. So when you go to Amsterdam, you have those what do they call them, hash bars, so you can get high and drink coffee or tea or whatever there. Here you can get coffee and tea and get your sucky on or something. What is going on? Androids giving oral sex at the Starbucks. So the prices, they apparently are going to start at £50, and if it takes a little bit long, over 15 minutes, extras are going to be added at £10 per 15 minutes. So you go in there if you're, you know what's up. So anyway, it'll be open from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's set to offer a 15-minute sex session with a cafe Americano for as little as £60. We've got to do a show on this there. This guy's found a way to go around the UK's anti-prostitution laws. He's going to open this oral sex cafe in London's Paddington station, apparently, or Paddington area, close to the Hilton Hotel and the Underground. So you can just kind of That is crazy stuff, man. And we were talking on another show about all these artificial intelligent beings, how we're being exposed to it on TV, and you've got Humans, the TV show on, if you don't have that, you guys check that out. As Humans, it's really cool. They've got androids living in people's homes, and they're taking over people's real jobs in the real world, and they're police officers, and they're gaining consciousness, and they're coming, online mentally. Crazy stuff. We had Westworld, Anthony Hopkins and Tandy Newton. What? Naked. So if you ain't seen that, you need to watch that. So again, consciousness, robots coming to life, thinking, feeling. And now you've got Alexa, Amazon, and you've got Google Home, and you can say, turn on the sprinklers, Alexa, and she turns it on, and turn on that playlist, and the music will start playing, and buy my wife some flowers, and the flowers arrive at your house, and she talks back to you. Something's going on, guys. Something's going on. Get ready. It's going to be big. I don't know exactly all it's going to happen, but it's going to be big. So speaking of internet sex and sex laws and all that stuff, the UK recently passed this extreme surveillance law, man. It was called the Investigatory Powers Act. What it did or does is basically gives the UK police and intelligence agencies like the most sweeping surveillance powers in the Western world. They passed it into law. Nobody even really paid it any attention. And everything that we do online, this show, your porn surfing, anything, they can get access to it and they can track it and keep it and so on. Doesn't matter if you're a terrorist or if you're on a watch list or nothing. So it's like the Patriot Act back in the U.S. times it's on steroids. So, anytime you go to certain websites, this petition pops up, ban this, Investigatory Powers Act, and it's been recalled. Fortunately, it's been recalled. So it had already been passed back in November, I think it was, last month. And even U.S. whistleblower, what's his name? Edward Snowden, the guy who just had a movie made. Excuse me, the WikiLeaks guy. He tweeted, "The UK has just legalized the most extreme surveillance in the history of Western democracy." So that's crazy stuff. So, at any rate, there was courts had heard the what was going on about it. They heard the case, and they decided that it wasn't in alignment with EU law. So it's not legal. So they had to pull it back. Unfortunately, for people like myself that live in the UK, the United Kingdom has decided to leave the EU, right? You all know about Brexit and all that. So if we're not in the EU come next year, then they can put that law right back in because they're not subject to EU law. It's UK law now. It doesn't matter, right? So I would expect that they wouldn't leave it the same as harsh as it is now. They will probably lighten it up a bit. So it'll be somewhere in between where it is now and the Patriot Act in the U.S. after 9/11. So even though you're getting it right in the middle, it's still extreme. And you're going to think that's not as bad as it was. And, they're not as familiar with Patriot Act over here as we are. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed that it doesn't end up being an absolute intrusive nightmare. So we're going to take a quick break, you guys. Go get yourself something to drink. Sit and watch this video, whatever the engineers got lined up for us. Music video. Check it out. We'll be right back with AlfonZo Rachel, yo. I know you know what's up, blah, 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 blah. English. I'm drinking water. I swear I am. I know you know who Zoe is. He's been on the show before. He's got a show called Zoe What. No, he doesn't. That's a different show. He's got a show called Zoe Loft, like the Zoe Loft. I'm out of it tonight. It's late. Sorry. We'll be right back. You guys stay tuned. So what? Welcome back to the show. Hope you enjoyed that. It's your host here, Vaughn Johseph, as always, with something a little extra special for you today because it's the end of 2016 as we know it. 2017 right around the corner. I've got with me on the show, hopefully a regular going forward into 2017, but we're still trying to work out a little bit of details. AlfonZo Rachel in the house. We're going to speak with this guy directly, and there he is, the man. How we doing today, man?
Oh man, I'm feeling extra special. If I'm gonna be regular, man, will that make me like extra regular? For some reason, that don't sound good.
No. We extra special. That's what it'll make you, extra special. So no one's extra regular here at all. Never ever. So how have you been? We haven't talked to you for a little while.
Oh man, I'm hanging in there.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Yeah. Ah man, I'm trying to wade through this new move. Got boxes everywhere, man. All my stuff is like hidden in it, just like packed up the stuff and rolled out to this new spot so I can have some creative space, and just trying to get that organized so I can finish up working on 2 albums, doing my thing with the Zoloft, trying to get this Sinisterbia anthology off the ground. So a few irons in the fire, man, and I'm a horrible juggler.
Oh. I was wondering what was going on with Sinisterbia. Actually, I was on the V3 TV network today, and I was looking at some of the older videos, and I was wondering when we were going to get the next installment. So when can viewers expect to see a little bit more Sinisterbia?
Man, when I can get some more viewers to see the first one I got up there, man, it seems like I got a bad case of social media blackout. I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything like that, man, but if I've got, if I'm blessed with over 110,000 followers on Facebook on my public figure page, and I haven't really been pushing too much of my subscriber page on my YouTube channel, because it's almost like, what's the point? Because a lot of people don't see my vids. They're not getting notifications, even if they, specifically subscribe or they click notifications. Like, man, I haven't seen your videos in months, right? So, like, out of all the, subscribers and followers that I've been blessed to be able to have, a great majority of them don't see my posts. It's like, I didn't even know you were putting up anything anymore, man. I thought you just hung it up and whatever. So. Wow. It's very difficult to get support, and I was hoping to get more support for the Sinisterbia one that I put up. Great reviews, everybody seems to like it, but just hardly anybody sees it.
Well, we're gonna see if we can help sort that out. I think I might have a couple of solutions or suggestions at least that might hopefully bring a solution. And I've experienced that a bit myself, so I found a couple workarounds for it. Actually, I'll let you in on a little secret once we go off the air because. They always listening, so gotta keep it on.
I'm in the classified club. All right.
So Donald Trump's almost going to be sworn in. We're looking at just about a month now. Jill Stein was looking to get a recount done for the electoral college electoral votes from the electoral college, and obviously that failed. What are your thoughts on that? How was the vibe in California and in the states in general? Because I left before all of that had taken place.
Jill Stein ought to be ashamed of herself. Doesn't she represent the Green Party or something like that? What you want to do a recount for? What you want to go through all that paper? Leave that paper alone. Save the trees.
She
suck it up.
She's the Green Party candidate, and I think she just had it in for Trump. She didn't want him to be in office, and was hoping that if there was a recount, that there would be a more favorable outcome where she would at least get the Democratic female alternative, to what she ended up having to deal with Trump. So if it ended up failing,
that's sexist. Okay, it's like you're gonna feel. Is she gonna feel better about herself just because a woman is president? Come on now. Is that what you need?
It is a sexist statement, yes. But why else would she possibly want Hillary over Trump?
Sorry, there was a little bit of a freeze there. I'm going to see if I can piece your question together. Sorry about that. Bad connections. Why else? First let me say Trump wasn't my first pick. You know, and now I'm at peace with it. I'm good. I'm much better him than Hillary. You know, a fried duck would be better than Hillary. But you know, as far as Trump goes, you know, the more it isn't so much even because of what Trump is doing. But when I saw this coming, man, I did see this coming. You know, it's really because of what liberals are doing. It's what Democrats are doing. It's because of the meltdown that they're having. These people are having a freaking conniption fit. And I do not want this behavior, this mindset, or anything that represents the kind of meltdown, emotional crack up that these people have. I don't want these people and their ideals representing or running the country. These people are spoiled, rotten brats who really feel entitled to having their own way. And it's like, look, it just doesn't work that way. And, you know, like I said, Trump wasn't my first pick, but y'all ain't even on the list because y'all are really emotionally, mentally damaged. I know that one of the things that they're trying to do, I know that they've got a lot of angst concerning the Electoral College. And because they can't get rid of the Electoral College, what they want the Electoral College to do now is to ignore the people's vote and just go ahead and vote the way the Democrats want them to vote anyway. These people, they're the ones who are always saying your vote doesn't count when they don't get what they want. Your vote doesn't count. But they're the ones who are always trying to make sure that people's vote doesn't count. When the people vote at the ballot, at the ballot box, they decide that they're going to usurp the power of the people and their votes and get activist judges to rule against the people's votes. And it's like, excuse me. And now they want Electoral College because now check this out. They don't understand. They want everything to be fair, right? Make everything fair. But they want to do away with the Electoral College and think that everything should be decided by the popular vote. Now, as the saying goes, man, democracy is two wolves and a sheep deciding who's going to have who for dinner. Now, this is what the Democrats want to happen. Highly populated cities like Los Angeles counties like Los Angeles and highly populated city like New York. They only want those votes to count because that's a nice, big, juicy voting block, right? So they want to ignore the rest of the country. How condescending and how dismissive that they want to ignore the rest of the country, and the only votes that should count are New York and LA because that's the popular vote. Meanwhile, they want to ignore all the rest of the country who voted. And leave out the Electoral College that helps to balance out this process of where we can get a fair vote. So the president has made the president hopeful is able to make their way through every state and every area to make sure that they've pleaded their case to every state in the country. And they want to leave that part out. That's not fair. I mean, as a matter of fact, that's just spoiled rotten, man.
That's crazy stuff, man. And it happens quite a bit, actually. It seems like a lot of, even just big corporations, they fold to the pressure of groups that come together and, say that they want something other than what they're already being presented.
It's bad like that.
Yeah, it's terrible. Speaking of that, like it's Christmas this in a couple days, 3 days time. How's the battle going back there? I know when I left, there was this war being waged against the holiday. It seemed, and Starbucks was taking Merry Christmas off their cups, and people were, going in saying their name was Merry Christmas. So when, they call your name for your coffee, you have to say Merry Christmas. Your chai latte is ready.
That's awesome.
What's going on this year? How is that unfolding this year? I haven't seen as much at least of it on the news, but I haven't been watching as much of the news because of there's just so much turmoil going on. But is it ramped up at all this year? Is it kind of leveled off?
Yeah, I think it's kind of leveled off, man. I really don't even think that there's much drama, or at least I haven't seen it. One of the reasons I haven't seen it is because I just kind of step back, like there's a flu going around. I just stay inside. I ain't trying to get caught up into that, Black Friday and all that sort of stuff. I don't want to get trampled. So I haven't, but the tone really, and forgive me because I may be naive to what's going on this year. Doesn't seem as bad as it was last year. Last year it was a lot of drama, a lot of media playing it up to sensationalize taking Christmas, and changing it to Happy Holidays and stuff like that. And, and even the media, of course, is for it. This year, I really can't say, and I'm not saying that it isn't, because I have seen, bits of it. I just don't feel like it's as bad as it was last year.
Well, I guess that could be a good thing because it's maybe. I saw something somewhere where maybe I was watching it on the news where these kids on a college campus, were trying to get fellow students to sign a petition to ban Christmas.
And so we are just kind of letting the administration know that a lot of students on campus choose not to celebrate anything in the winter season.
Cool. It's like a very Christian normative campus, and so we feel like it's just not really a safe space for people of different faith traditions.
Like this time of year, it feels like people can shove their holiday happiness in your face, Merry Christmas, ooh, and it's just it gets kind of old.
So we're just.
Do you think that the to just say Happy Holidays is a bad thing? Doesn't it kind of give it a blanket, greeting to everybody for everything? Or I can see the refusal to say Merry Christmas not being a good thing, but what if you don't know? I mean, how do you think that people should approach that? How should that be dealt with?
Yeah, Happy Holidays isn't offensive to me at all. And because when I say Happy Holidays, it is kind of like that blanket statement. I'm taking in Christmas and the New Year's too. Instead of saying Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Thanksgiving, all it's hey, it's a season. Happy Holidays. That's been my approach to it. And even still, even if you are trying to be, I don't like to say politically correct, but maybe even politically or socially courteous. How about that? And just say, look. I don't know if you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or what have you. Just hey, Happy Holidays. But the reason the stigma to Happy Holidays is this: it's not that there's really anything wrong with saying it; it's being made to say it because you're not allowed to say Merry Christmas. You can say anything else, but you can't say Merry Christmas. So almost like in a rebellious tone, it's just like Happy Holidays is. Right. Excuse me? No, I'm not going to say Happy Holidays because I have to, because you don't want me to say Merry Christmas. So it's that kind of thing. So I guess it just kind of depends on, a person's approach. When I say Happy Holidays, it's just, it's a blanket statement, but I'm going to say Merry Christmas. And I don't appreciate some ban on me saying Merry Christmas.
It's a bit nutty, isn't it? I'll say Merry Christmas to someone that I know celebrates Christmas. There's no reason for me to state otherwise. If I don't know your religious affiliation, Happy Holidays, or I'll say Happy Festivus, or or Christmas Hana Kwanzaa, whatever the hell you want to say. It doesn't matter as long as
the holiday tongue twister.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but just I try to make it all inclusive. I get it. So as long as it's settling down, it seems like there was a big to do about it from a lot of people, and I'm just glad that it's not being such a big deal.
Well, really quick, but that's if I can say really quick, that's kind of like the operating word right there, inclusive, and. The left's approach to being inclusive is by being exclusive. It's like, we want to include everybody. We want to show tolerance and acceptance except for you. And the most, tolerant, really the most tolerant and accepting, faith that there has been Christianity, the doctrine of Christianity. Now, what people do with it, that's an entirely different thing, in trying to make it about themselves as opposed to what the gospel actually says. But in terms of inclusion and really advocating peace on earth, where we're really all together, we're all one, your behavior is one thing. But in terms of you being a human being and a valuable human being, that's all everybody. That's the gospel of Jesus Christ. But, just because your behavior isn't going to be accepted, don't be spoiled rotten and say that, we're not going to tolerate you Christians because you're intolerant. So, yeah, definitely it's antithetical to their own narrative where they talk about being inclusive while being exclusive.
Deep words, guys. AlfonZo Rachel. Merry Christmas, brother. And what do you got lined up for the new year? What do you got? Anything special coming up for us?
Man, good times with some local friends. Give some thanks, to the last year. Be hopeful for the new year, and see what we can do for some salt and light out there.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we'll look to see you hopefully next week, or probably into the new year. We're gonna start having Zoe on full time. Hopefully, we've been getting a lot of emails. Where's that guy with the hat and the drumsticks? Get him back on the show. So I'm the guy with the hat. I'm the guy with the hat. Come on.
The cool, and a cool hat it is.
But you're the guy with the cool, you're the voice of reason on the show. You got the cool thoughts and content. So thanks for coming on, and thanks for tuning in. That's it for 2016, you guys. We'll see you guys in 2017 with a whole new show. I'm actually going to have a new co-host on my show, too, during the week. So all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So check out V3 TV. Check out AlfonZo Rachel. Is it Zo Rachel or AlfonZoRachel.com?
Oh, it's AlfonZoRachel.com. Yeah.
AlfonZoRachel.com, you guys. 20-pound sledge, 20L. It's right there. It's on the screen. I'm putting it's on the screen. Just go there, click it, check out all this amazing content, and support everything that people out there like us are trying to do, because we're just doing it for you. So thanks, and have a wonderful 2017. Thanks, Zoe.
All right, man. Thank you.